Hello, everybody. I was trying to find a way to label this, but I'm not sure I know how. So we're just going to jump in. So today I wanted to come on live and chat about adrenal health and really how this can affect women specifically. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Anna, and I am a regenerative health practitioner. And I help women overcome PCOS, gut imbalances, hormonal imbalances. I help them support fertility, pregnancy, and really help women reverse age with the power of food and herbs and other really cutting edge natural solutions. And so today I wanted to do a brief education session. And I want to focus on more education moving forward because I think that once we know better, we can do better. And sometimes we just don't know. Like sometimes we just don't know the root cause of things, or we don't know that simple changes can help us reverse symptoms in our body. And so a lot of the symptoms that I see among people can be easily reversed by diet and lifestyle changes. And so there are a lot of things that are common among people right now that are not normal. And we sometimes think that because they're common, they're normal, or we have to deal with them, and it's not the case. And so I want to talk about adrenal health and adrenal fatigue today. So pretty much everyone deals with some level of adrenal fatigue. So things like, I have mom brain, I don't sleep much, I have brain fog, I have painful periods, or I get sore breasts before my period. All of these things, among many, many other common symptoms, are actually related to the health of your adrenal glands. And adrenal health is usually part of the root cause of most ailments and dis-ease in the body. And so from an anatomy perspective, your adrenal glands sit right on top of your kidneys. So we have two kidneys and we have two adrenals that sit right on top. And your blood pressure will actually reflect your adrenal and kidney function. So the ideal top number, which is reflective of your adrenals, should sit anywhere between 120 and 130. And your bottom number should sit between 60 and 70. And this is not commonly talked about or known, but anything below 118 from a blood pressure perspective on top is indicating adrenal weakness. And so again, many of the symptoms that we experience are common, but they're not normal. And I want to break down the purpose of the adrenals, the 4 stages of adrenal fatigue, and things that you can do to support your adrenals to function better, because they're in charge of so many functions in the human body. And just by having these glands in our body tired, it can affect us immensely. So some common signs of adrenal weakness are low blood pressure, as I mentioned, anxiety, seizures, tremors. I think, specifically from a woman's perspective, ovarian cysts, infertility. The root cause of most miscarriages does stem from the adrenal glands being too tired. And I could go on into that, and I will another time. But cramping, fibromyalgia, uterine fibroids, systemic inflammation. So if you're dealing with inflammation in your body that just doesn't seem to go away, this is because your adrenals are not producing enough steroids. So this can also greatly impact your health. So from a male and female perspective too, this can look like arthritis, fibromyalgia, lower back weakness, diabetes, and so much more. So just to kind of highlight the 4 stages of adrenal fatigue, stage 1 is if you're the type of person that is more of like a busybody, you're a high performer, you can't sit still, you struggle to rest, This is likely because your adrenals are tired. Stage 2 is you're beginning to start to feel some fatigue. So the adrenals are still functioning, but they're getting a little shriveled up. And it's always important to think about, sometimes people will say, well, I don't think my adrenals are tired because I'm not tired. But it's important to remember that your glands will sometimes go hyperactive before they go hypoactive. And that's just a really important thing to keep in mind. Stage 3 of adrenal fatigue is feeling like you do need a nap to get through the day. So stage 2 is like you want a nap, you maybe get in naps, like you feel tired, you wake up tired. But stage 3 is like you need a nap to get through the day, or you're not going to get through the day. And stage 4 is, it's hard to get out of bed. And so naps are longer. It could, look like sleeping in bed till noon, things like that, a little more serious. So those are just the different levels of adrenal fatigue. Some people experience one or the other, and it's just important to be aware of the signs so that you can start really nourishing your adrenals before they're too tired. So what can you do? Get rid of inflammatory foods. Number 1, diet is so foundational. I can't actually stress this enough. Getting rid of high acid foods is also really, really important. So think about things like alcohol, processed foods, dairy, lots of meat. These things will actually force your adrenals to pump out more cortisol, therefore making your adrenals more tired, which is going to make you more tired. And then to repair and restore, I also recommend herbal blends. And so if this is something that you're looking to support within yourself, reach out to me. I'm happy to recommend some herbal formulations to really start repairing and restoring your adrenals. And then lastly, you really need to focus on gut bacteria. So this is what communicates with your brain. And we are more bacteria than we are cells. And our gut needs so much fiber-eating bacteria to be able to communicate with our brain so that our brain can then communicate with, our pituitary gland and then to our adrenals. It's called the HPA axis. Diet is really key. So the quality of foods that we put in our mouth directly impacts our quality of life. So alkaline forming foods like fruits and veggies, that's where we're going to feel nourished at a cellular level. And it's hydrating, and our body knows what to do with these food sources. And it's not going to require the adrenals to pump out a ton of cortisol. When we eat too many acid-forming foods, it is dehydrating, damaging, and burning and damaging our organs. So cleaning up the diet is number 1. Eating more live foods, fruits and veggies, they're the highest vibrational foods on the planet. And that is going to really, really make such a difference in how vibrant you feel throughout the day. And then prioritizing sleep is huge. So our bodies do the most reparative, restorative work when we're in REM sleep. And that's when our body can really regenerate. And what most people don't know is that actually between the hours of 9 p.m. to 12 at night, that is when your endocrine system is regenerating. And that is the best time of night where your adrenals are going to get the love and the regeneration that they need. So when we're going to bed really late, you're going to be missing out on those key hours for regeneration of your entire endocrine system. So it's really important to think about sleep. And then lastly, and this is really what I specialize in, is detoxification. So detoxing glyphosate out of the body and heavy metals is so important. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what glyphosate is, it's the main ingredient in Roundup, and it's sprayed on all of our crops here in the US. And it's patented as an oral antibiotic. So if you think about what antibiotics do, they basically wipe out all the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. They wipe out everything. And that's why you'll hear doctors say, take a probiotic after you're on antibiotics, is because we need to repopulate that gut bacteria. I'm not huge on probiotics, so I like to use regeneratively grown food as a way to repopulate the gut bacteria. And so I can talk about that later on as well, but glyphosate is, it's causing leaky gut. It's very disruptive to our entire system, specifically our endocrine system. And when you think about that, we're more bacteria than we are cells, and this is an oral antibiotic we're encountering on a daily basis, you can imagine what this is doing to our gut, which is then impairing the ability to communicate with the brain, and the brain to the adrenals and the rest of your system. So it's detoxing glyphosate out of the body is key, and heavy metals as well. And so what I use organic, regeneratively grown superfoods that are actually raw. They're actually living. So I used to be a big protein powder person. I used to essentially just buy things that I thought looked great off of the shelf at the store, but it wasn't doing much for my body. And I was spending hundreds of dollars a month on supplements that were actually putting my body in a worse condition because it was putting stress on my liver and my kidneys. And so now I solely use organic, living, raw superfoods. And if you reach out to me, I'm happy to make recommendations for you. There's information also in my bio, but they also have a formulation that helps detox glyphosate out of your body. And it's actually proven to do so in 6 weeks. So that's really, really key. I will say 30 days of changing your diet and incorporating micronutrient-rich foods is amazing. You're going to start to repopulate gut bacteria. You're going to start to eliminate waste. 60 days is even better. 60 days is when you're really going to get into that next level of regeneration, and 90 days is best because that's when your body can really start to rid what no longer serves us, and things can start to rebuild, and brain cells start to regenerate, and the adrenals start to really function better, and so much more. And so I don't want this to be too long, but I did want to just do a quick info session about how important your adrenal glands are and how many systems they really do impact, and that simple diet and lifestyle changes can help you so much. So if any of this resonated with you and you're ready to take the next steps in your health, reach out to me, DM me, or comment on this live. I will be hosting a cohort for women who want to start reversing symptoms related to PCOS and balancing their hormones and, preparing for children and whatever they need support with. And this will be launching in June. So be on the lookout for more information on that too. But if you're ready to start now, send me a note and I am happy to support you. So thank you all so much for joining. I will be posting this live in my feed if you just recently joined and didn't get to see me chat about all things adrenal health. But I will be popping on to do more education sessions soon. Thank you.